Anthony Slater here with Darnell Mayberry. We're inside the peak for Game 7 of this new Thunder season, and it's the second win. I mean, any early season win, I guess, is kind of a big win considering the circumstances. 101-93 over the surprising Kings, at least in the first week. Biggest thing that stood out to you in a game where there was balance, scoring, just balanced contributions pretty much everywhere through this 9-man rotation.
I like the defense tonight. I mean, it's one of the things that kind of got lost in the shuffle, with the exception of that third quarter where turnovers really changed the tide and allowed the Kings to get back in it, come back from a 17-point lead. I think they cut it to as little as 3 at one point, maybe even 2. But I really like how the Thunder performed defensively tonight. They really held DeMarcus Cousins in check. Rudy Gay had to take a lot of shots to get his points. And in that zone, Kendrick Perkins, Nick Collison, Serge Ibaka, they're really doing a great job of communicating and helping each other out in that zone.
Looking at the other side of the ball, Reggie Jackson led the team with 22 points, but he needed 19 shots. So looking at other kind of areas of this team, Jeremy Lamb was efficient, played well. Sebastian Telfair, 14 points in 17 minutes. He's actually been giving them some pretty good minutes lately. Ish Smith, even Scott Brooks randomly throws him in pretty late in the game. He gets 7 points in 7 minutes. Nick Collison, 2 big threes. Who are the guys you kind of felt like were maybe the unsung heroes of this game?
You mentioned half the team, maybe even all of them. I mean, they only had
at
9.
This point.
Yeah, so, I mean, everybody played well for the most part. I mean, I thought, guys chipped in offensively and defensively. Jeremy Lamb, I don't know if you mentioned him. He had his shot going tonight, 17 points for the second time in as many games. He's still coming back from that back injury. He says he's 100% now, no issues. But he looked good offensively, and then defensively, Scott Brooks even praised him for his defensive effort tonight, which was much better than his first game against Memphis on Friday night.
Kind of an interesting part of this game. Obviously, you had DeMarcus Cousins in here. Kendrick Perkins called him the best center in the league. I don't necessarily agree with that, but he's certainly maybe top 5, ascending there. And, we like the matchup of that against Steven Adams. Steven Adams really didn't play that well, but Kendrick Perkins himself had a really good game. I thought that was kind of a key.
Yeah, I mean, his activity level, it wasn't just his defense. It was his rebounding. He was chasing down loose balls, being kind of a pest underneath the rim. I don't know how many block shots he had, but he was being a presence and a pest when offensive players came down the lane. So I thought he did a lot of good things tonight. Even got an and one. He's going to the free throw line. The crowd was going crazy cheering for him. So it was a really good performance for Kendrick Perkins tonight.
Now we look ahead, 15 of the next 18 against non-playoff teams from last year. 5 of the first 6 were against playoff teams from last year, so it's a stretch that eases a little bit. Milwaukee Tuesday, I believe, Detroit Wednesday, then Boston Wednesday, and then Detroit back here. It's a stretch. I mean, obviously, I don't even know if they'll be favored in any games. I don't think you think they will be favored in any games, but these are winnable games.
Yeah, and I think you should start to see some more players come back in. Anthony Morrow is probably the closest. Perry Jones maybe after that. I think Andre Robertson's going to be a little bit longer with the left foot sprain, but I think some guys are going to be trickling back into the lineup a little bit more and more. But if Anthony Morrow gets back for one of these games against either Milwaukee or Boston, I think that could be another big addition offensively for this team right now.
Let's kick it to Scott Brooks and some of the players and see what they had to say about tonight's game.
We got a good group of guys in there. It's a fun team. It's fun going into games knowing that we're going to play with great effort. We're going to be throwing our bodies all over the floor. We're going to dive on the floor for loose balls, and that's what our fans want to see. They understand that we have a lot of points. Darnell told me about how many points are out of our lineup. 83 points a couple 10 days ago. But they know it, but they like what the guys are doing. The guys are competing, and that's what makes fans proud of our group.
But I thought tonight we came out and are finally starting to get over that mindset of like, oh, we got so many guys out. We just kind of went out and tried to take the game, and that's how we have to play. I thought we were the aggressors from the start. Some of these other games, it seems like we've kind of tried to feel our way out and how's it going to be out there. We can't do that. We have to be a team that's playing at a real high effort the whole time to have a chance to win.
Yeah, it's hard to win. It's hard to win, and we're just learning. We're growing up. We're getting better. Trying to compete, trying to hold it down. So, we learn as we go.
Obviously, the teammates and coaches, they're very They're helping me out the whole time, talking me through things. And this is an unselfish team, unselfish organization. So it's easy to kind of fit in and mold yourself in, you know, an unselfish team, unselfish organization. All you got to do is move the ball, and when you open, take your shots.
I think it can be good in terms of giving guys some confidence and getting guys some more opportunities. You know, we're throwing the ball inside more than we have. And I think that's something that we can use when we get those guys back. But let's not get – I mean, we love to have those guys back for sure. It makes everything easier for everybody else. And, you know, for this time without them, we got to try to find a way to play, and that's kind of what we're doing right now.
Milwaukee on Tuesday, we talked about it a little bit. You know, it's a team obviously young, but there's some talent there. The Greek Freak, Jabari Parker, I think is your Rookie of the Year. Against obviously an undermanned Thunder team. Kind of an interesting matchup.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting matchup. And because the Thunder is undermanned, you can't go into any game thinking that you're automatically going to get a win. Before, you know, with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, you look at Milwaukee, you say, oh, that's a win. Now, like Nick Collison has said time and time again, they have to play with energy and effort for 48 minutes, play the right way, and then put themselves in a position to get a victory. But if they don't do that, Milwaukee could surprise you.
It'll be interesting to see. That'll do it for us here at The Peak. For the best Thunder coverage team anywhere, stay tuned to newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.